And welcome back everybody to Comic Frontline. I am Brant aka the Gonzogoose, here to talk to you about another TV time review, talking about The Flash. Season 1, Episode 1. This is the series premiere that aired this past Tuesday, re-aired Wednesday night after Arrow. None of us have gotten a chance to talk about it on Frontline yet. So I figured I would just go ahead. There was a request to do this review, so I figured I'd jump in and do this. I did rewatch it again after watching Arrow, and it was really cool because they had the lead in the Arrow episode. Dog hair, sorry. You know, where Barry shows up and says, I really need to talk, and then that scene continues in Flash, of course. So with this episode, obviously we were introduced to Barry Allen through the Arrow television series, kind of a backdoor pilot kind of thing. And sorry, I've got a piece of hair stuck on my hat and it's bothering me. But no, we were introduced in a two-part episode where Barry Allen came to Starling City, and at the end of that second episode is when we saw the lightning strike and everything, and that kind of sets the course for the Flash series. So in this premiere episode, we back it up, and we're introduced to Barry as he's late to a crime scene, and Detective West has to cover for him, and you can see how good of a forensic assistant he is, as he totally identifies just by looking at a tire track exactly what kind of car, what kind of area it might be in and everything, and shows his real value even if he was late. And the thing going on, there's a particle reactor, atom smasher kind of thing. They threw that little thing in there, as Iris said, atom smasher, smashing thing at the particle accelerator at Star Labs. And Barry's wanting to go, but he's got to work, and he finally gets to go. But as he gets there, Iris's laptop's stolen, so he has to take off. And he's not fast enough to catch the guy, but Detective West's eventual let's just say a colleague, another detective, Eddie Thawne. And for comic fans, Eobard Thawne is Professor Zoom, aka the Reverse Flash. Well, Eddie Thawne is in this episode, so you don't know what's going on here. But anyway, long story short, because I don't want to give the entire episode away in case you guys haven't watched it yet, I'm gonna skip through some parts. Detective West and his partner, they find the culprits that were robbing the banks. They were the Martin brothers, and at the same time, Barry's like trying to track down this laptop thief and everything. And so Barry goes back to his lab, and it's storming really bad, and he's trying to close the skylight or whatever, and at the same time Detective West and his partner are going after the Martin brothers, and the particle reactor just explodes and energy goes everywhere. The Martins are escaping in a plane and it explodes, and Barry gets struck by the lightning as the chemicals are flying into the air and everything. And we fast forward 9 months later, and Barry's waking up in Star Labs, and Dr. Wells and of course Caitlin and Cisco are there. Cisco Ramon being Vibe, and Caitlin being possibly Killer Frost in the future. That's their character names, and they explain everything that happened to him and everything. And throughout the course of it, he discovers on his own, after he leaves Star Labs, that he's gained these powers, so he goes back and everything. Oh, in the process, Detective West's partner, minor spoiler alert, he passes away, so Eddie Thawne will be Detective West's new partner. Let's see, one of the Martin brothers survives. If you're a comic fan, you know that Martin is the last name of the Weather Wizard, and he comes into play here with the tornado and everything, and Flash just unravels it by running the opposite direction around it. All this stuff going on. I don't want to give too much away about how the episode ends, because there's a definite key part to there with Star Labs, and it's a pretty big spoiler to reveal that part, but it was really interesting. We do get little cameos. The Gorilla Grodd cage open with the Grodd sign there. That was really cool. you know, there's a lot of, we talk about it in this week's Zone 4, so if you want to tune in, you can listen to a bunch of the cameos, or a bunch of the Easter eggs, rather, that are in the episode. And yeah, there's a big thing that happens at the end that kind of makes you wonder, okay, yeah, we have this guy, but what about this guy? And it's, you know, you have to watch it to get the impact of what that means. But a fantastic first episode. This is an amazing show. We mentioned also on Zone 4, I think we even mentioned it on Frontline on live, I can't remember, that it was, you know, the biggest CW premiere in the past 5 years, or I think we might have just been talking about it amongst ourselves. 4.79 million viewers on that premiere episode. So it's going to be a stellar series. It's, for a comic fan, it's everything you could wish for in it. There's obviously going to be that CW drama feel to it. That's just their thing, and there is a danger of becoming Freak of the Week kind of thing they did with Smallville. You know, because now you have these metahumans rising up, and we've already seen glimpses of Captain Cold. You know, we see other characters that are popping in and out. Oh, and there's this whole, I forgot to even mention, there's this whole underlying thread of Detective West not believing Barry and thinking he's chasing ghosts because his mother was killed, and he thinks it's by a man that was in a blur of lightning. But everybody else in the world thinks it was his father, so his father's in prison, and he visits him later on in the episode too. So that's going to be you know, a theme that leads to it. And from New York Comic Con, as we reported here on Comic Frontline, images have surfaced of the Reverse Flash on the Flash series, so we know that's coming. We just don't know who it is yet. So it's going to be very interesting to see this all come together. And you know, there's going to be a crossover with Arrow. I think it's with episode 8 of both of the shows, so we know that's coming. And it's just going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting season for TV, for comic fans, for genre fans, and especially for you know, on the CW, Arrow and Flash back-to-back nights and doing crossovers and everything. It's just really, really cool, really fun time. It's like your comics coming to life. I don't mind the drama aspect of it. I love the you know, interplay between Iris and Barry, and it's like Barry has this crush, you can tell, but Iris is, you know, she just doesn't see it. She's, you know, not aware, she's oblivious. You have the Wells and, you know, the whole Star Labs team. There's something there that you're not quite in on, and you know, you have Barry. Detective West now knows Barry is is the Flash, and you got to deal with that and the secret keeping and all this stuff. And then what is Eddie Thawne's role in all this? And you know, all these, we've heard all these announcements of these castings for this show, and it's just going to be a phenomenal show to watch. I think, for me personally, season 1, episode 1 of The Flash, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I think it hit every note. It gave you everything you wanted as a fan. So yeah, it was as perfect as you can get, I think, for a premiere episode of a show, and that's why it's getting such high marks. The team from Arrow, they knew the mistakes they made with the first season of Arrow. They skipped past all that. Let's just hope that they don't make the same mistakes that CW made with Smallville in the past with the Freak of the Week thing. But for this particular episode, 5 out of 5, hands down. So that's my review of The Flash. Check out all the other reviews here on Comic Frontline. Of course, we're going to keep talking about The Flash and Arrow and Gotham and all this stuff, so stay tuned for all that. And check out more TV time, of course. We're doing New York Comic Con coverage. There's a couple of videos up already, and over on the written site, Comic Related's getting a little bit of slow start, so you can check comicrelated.com, comicfrontline.com for all that, and zone4podcast.com. Listen to Zone 4 this week, which will air on Frontline later today or tonight or tomorrow or something, very soon. And yeah, so until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.